If you're human, you've probably had a food craving. From jonesing for your favorite sweets to comforting memories of mom's home cooking, there are plenty of reasons you might have the urge to reach for a certain food. While you may desire a certain food due to its nutritional content, much of the time food cravings can have emotional roots. Instead of looking at cravings as something to resist, ignore, or stamp out altogether, it's possible to gain insight from food cravings as a way to meet the deeper needs hiding underneath. Here's how to mine the wisdom your food cravings hold to find peace in your relationship with food. Why food cravings aren't the enemy. If diet culture is to be believed, food cravings are something to be controlled and resisted. But what if there's another approach? While food cravings can have many causes, they can often indicate deeper feelings and stressors that are lurking under the surface. Instead of restrictive dieting, intuitive eating embraces desire as something to be celebrated and enjoyed. According to a 2021 review, intuitive eating is considered an adaptive mental health strategy that's connected to several positive outcomes, including increases in positive body image, self-esteem, overall well-being. A 2020 study followed 1,491 participants from adolescence to young adulthood. At an 8-year follow-up, continued intuitive eating practices were associated with lower incidences of a number of disordered eating behaviors. The truth underneath compulsion. If food cravings are covering up deeper feelings, repressing or controlling them doesn't ultimately solve anything. According to a 2020 review, food deprivation increases cravings for the foods being avoided when it comes to specific foods. The study notes these cravings are a conditioned response brought about by learned cues rather than nutrient or energy deficiencies. This means they can be unlearned. While it's difficult to say exactly what these cues are, they likely have emotional undercurrents. The root of the issue lies in the subconscious mind, says Elizabeth. Typically, it's fear of something, not being lovable, fear of not being worthy, fear of not being perfect, fear of not being in control. Roth has a similar approach. 7 techniques to learn from food cravings. So, you may get the idea that food cravings can be covering up deeper emotions, but what next? The techniques that will be mentioned in this video can help you mine the wisdom hidden behind the desire to eat to cover up your feelings. Sit with the craving. It's only natural for cravings to arise from time to time. Instead of repressing, ignoring, or immediately gratifying them, try sitting with the sensation of craving to tune into the message it has for you. Your cues, including your cravings, give you insight into what your body is asking for, says Elizabeth. First, sit with the craving. Feel where it is in your body. Notice what sensations, memories, or images arise along with it. As you do so, you can ask yourself where the craving comes from, without trying to figure it out. Just let any information arise naturally, or not. Second, explore whether the feeling of craving can be met or lessened in other ways. These can include drinking some water, taking a cat nap, going for a walk, calling a friend, taking a warm bath. After you try a few ways to meet the desire, you may discover the need for the specific food you had in mind isn't so intense. This may indicate that your craving didn't come from hunger after all. Once you've taken space to experience and explore the craving, you can decide whether you'd like to go ahead and eat based on what you've discovered. Be aware of the belly. Roth teaches her students to give attention to their bellies, especially because this can be an area of the body that many students try to cover up, hide, or ignore altogether. You begin the process of bringing yourself back to your body, to your belly, to your breath because they are here now, writes Roth. It is only here, only now that you can make a decision to eat or not eat. Delegate the decision making. According to Elizabeth, this is the part where many of her clients get tripped up, the question, should I eat or not? She says this can often lead them to spiral and feel overwhelmed with the decision. As a solution, she suggests delegating the task. When it comes to my metabolism and burning calories, thankfully my brain doesn't actually have to be the one in control of that, she says. My metabolism can be the one in control. Let me see what happens when I delegate that, when I release that control and trust that my body is going to handle it. This involves trusting that the body, including the part of the body responsible for cravings, knows what it's doing. If you can, believe that everything is under control, instead of you being in control, then there's a lot more peace, says Elizabeth. She suggests thinking of the entire process as running a company. Learn your cues. Practicing sitting with your cravings and feeling your belly sensations can help get you out of your head and into your body. The more you practice, the more likely you'll be able to interpret your body's cues. Diet culture gets us really wrapped up in the aesthetic side of things, says Elizabeth. We start trusting other people's tropes, the magazine tropes, the diet culture tropes, and we lose our intuition. Learning about your cues can help you get back in touch with it. Cues are available at all times, but a lot of people are numbing them. Whether it's hunger, fullness, or craving, they're numbing their desires, says Elizabeth. The body basically starts screaming to get your attention. Once you start turning your attention to the body itself, rather than an outside object of craving, you can begin to get more in touch with your true desires. Celebrate your cravings. Elizabeth notes that clients often feel scared of their cravings. They sometimes mistrust the idea of intuitive eating because they're afraid that if they eat whatever they want, they'll lose a sense of control. Instead of fearing cravings, she suggests you celebrate them. Celebrate the fact that a craving is a line of communication to your body, Elizabeth says. It's a beautiful thing to have that connection to your body. Ask, what else am I hungry for? An integral part of understanding your cues is getting curious about them. Elizabeth suggests asking what else you might be hungry for. Let's say it's breakfast time and you're craving cake. You intuitively know that eating cake for breakfast wouldn't actually be the most aligned for your health, says Elizabeth. Then you get curious and say, okay, well, if we go a little deeper into this craving, what is it that I'm actually hungry for? Keep the food you crave in the house. It may fly in the face of everything you've ever heard about eating healthy, but Elizabeth suggests keeping the foods you crave available in the house. This helps to reinforce the idea that food isn't such a big deal. The cravings can feel really intense when you're limiting them because you're only allowed to eat dessert on the weekend, says Elizabeth. You're going to be craving the dessert Monday through Friday until the weekend comes. Instead, have a little bit of what you're desiring anytime throughout the week. Tips for enjoying your food. Roth outlines several tips for truly being present and enjoying your food. 1. Eat when you are hungry. 2. Eat sitting down in a calm environment. This does not include the car. 3. Eat without distractions. Distractions include radio, television, newspapers, books, intense or anxiety-producing conversations, or music. 4. Eat what your body wants. 5. Eat until you are satisfied. 6. Eat with the intention of being in full view of others. 7. Eat with enjoyment, gusto, and pleasure. Doing these can help you truly experience the pleasure of eating, as well as take away any sense of the shamefulness or specialness of food. When we give up dieting, we take back something we were often too young to know we had given away, our own voice, writes Roth. By listening to your cravings and treating them with curiosity, respect, and trust, you can begin to reclaim that voice.
That's it for today. Check out the channel for more health and weight loss content. You can also purchase our weight loss course. And please, like and subscribe to be notified of our next tip. See you next time.